It's so amazing. You don't get this anywhere else. It's just the unpredictability factor. In college football, you see some of the wildest, and I mean some of the wildest crap you're ever going to see.
Alabama! What happened? How come we something about? Let's go, Alabama! You lost unranked team! Unranked team! Unranked team! Wow!
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hope all you had a great weekend. If not, hope this video can make it a little bit better. Man, oh man, I hope for your sake you were not overlooking this week and you watched some college football because we had a ton of upsets. This is arguably, and I know we have a lot of football to be played left, but this is arguably going to be the greatest week of the season. Or not will be, but you get what I'm trying to say. It was the greatest week of the season. We had not one, not two, but 3 top 10 upsets. 2 teams in the top 5 lost to unranked opponents. To go on top of that, we had 6 total, count them, 6 top 25 teams lose. And you want to know the best part about it? 5 of these games weren't games in which a top 25 team had to lose regardless, and here's what I'm trying to say. It's not like Georgia and Alabama where, yeah, a ranked team's going to lose. 5 out of 6 of these games, the ranked team lost to an unranked team. And the only ranked versus ranked matchup was Texas A&M, and they were barely in the top 25, ranked at number 25, tied with UNLV. And I should have saw this coming, granted hindsight's 2020, but it's always these weeks in college football. We have a couple every single year where there's not a lot of great games or any great games at all. College game day went to Cal versus Miami, if that tells you anything. These turn out to be the best ones, though. And this is what makes college football, and it's really funny how everything plays out because there will be some weeks or weekends where we got top 10 matchups, a bunch of top 25 matchups, and those are the worst. On the flip side, you got a week like this, like, oh yeah, it's going to be a snooze fest, and yeah, it was anything but that. There's a lot to talk about, but the biggest upset of the weekend, and arguably the biggest upset of the year outside of Northern Illinois beating Notre Dame, was number 1 ranked Alabama lost to Vanderbilt. Crazy stuff there, but hold on, it gets better. Number 4 ranked Tennessee lost to Arkansas. Top 10 team in Missouri didn't just lose to A&M, they got smashed. And oh, wait a minute, I said we had 3 teams losing the top 10. My apologies, I forgot. We had Michigan. There were so many teams that lost, I lost count. Michigan, 10th ranked team in the nation, lost to Washington. They got a messy situation there. USC, they lose to Minnesota, and Minnesota ain't very good, so that one was really shocking. Ohio State, although they didn't play a great team, they took care of business, and in week 6, that's all it was about. It was upset central, so a win is a win. Georgia beats a pesky Auburn team, and what about this? Ole Miss, they bounce back against South Kakalaki. The Seminoles lose. What's new there? And good gosh almighty, what about that Miami game? How did they come back? Cal blew a 25-point lead. Can't believe that game. There was a questionable targeting call at the end, but still, outside of that, you blew a 25-point lead. Safe to say it's going to be an interesting video, say the least. Strap in, buckle up, get you a snack, get you a popcorn, get your favorite meal you like to eat when you watch a video, because trust me, I do the same thing. But all right, Matt, blah, blah, shut crap up, without further ado, let's get into it. All right, starting out things hot with our Alabama and Vanderbilt game first. You guys saw my live reaction to it. I've talked about the game a lot. I even talked about it at 4 a.m. this morning. So just due to that, I'm not going to try to talk about it for 10 minutes in this video. If you want to find out more information about the game and hear my full analysis, go watch some previous videos. However, with that being said, after watching film on this game, here's my takeaway. The better team won. Vanderbilt was better than Alabama, believe it or not. Vanderbilt had the better offense. Vanderbilt had the better defense. The better team won. It's crazy to say, I get it. I don't know what alternate universe we were living in week 6, but it wasn't Earth 1. It feels like we're on Earth 9, 10, or 11. Vanderbilt won this game for one simple reason. Alabama's defense couldn't stop them. Alabama's offense did their part, and here's a fun fact for you. Stat of the day. The time of possession, Alabama only had the ball for less than 18 minutes. Vandy, 42 minutes. Diego Pavia, like most quarterbacks do, played the game of his life, and that's what it takes against Bama. He quite literally didn't mess up, and he had a QBR of 96. Insane. And I'm just going to clap it up. That's all you can do. Clap it up to the Vanderbilt football team, and congratulations. As far as it goes for Alabama, well, like I said, offense is fine. Defense, you got to do some soul searching. They were feeling all big and mighty after that Georgia win, and I guess, I don't know, because I'm not in the locker room, I'm not around these players, but I guess they thought they'd just be able to roll up in Vanderbilt's home stadium and Vandy was going to bow down like they've done in recent years. And what has really baffled me is I didn't think the Alabama players didn't play hard. They were. It was just lack of execution. Alabama had 2 costly turnovers. One of those was a fumble in which Alabama was driving down the field, and the other was a pick six. Alabama didn't get a lot of calls from the refs. I'm not blaming the refs, but they didn't get many calls go their way, and the ball bounced Vanderbilt's way, and that's how an upset happens. You can bash Alabama all you want, but give credit to Vandy. They deserve it. At 11 a.m., I know I started with the Bama game first. There's not even too much to say about this. Missouri just ain't that good, and they're fraudulent. This game got overlooked just due to the Alabama upset, but this wasn't even a fight. I'm questioning if Missouri's even a top 25 team at this point. They didn't even put up a fight, not even to the slightest. Connor Wigman and A&M was dicing that Missouri defense up. On the flip side of the ball, Missouri, they couldn't even move it. Let's talk a little bit about this game. Georgia, they take care of business against Auburn, and I've been saying this, Auburn is not a bad team. They just have bad quarterback play. Peyton Thorne didn't play bad in this game. I'd say he was slightly above average. And the play that killed Auburn was it was 4th and 1. And instead of handing it off to the running back, and by the way, that was the play call, Peyton Thorne decided to pull it and take it himself. And you could see Hugh Freeze, he was so frustrated and asking him, like, dude, what are you doing? That wasn't even the play. But at this point in time, I'm asking my Auburn fans, are you shocked? That is the Peyton Thorne experience. Watching the game against Oklahoma, and then he does that 4th and 1 BS against Georgia. But here's the thing. Even if Auburn gets that, they probably don't win this game. But makes it a little more interesting. That was a huge shift in momentum. Georgia also got kind of lucky because right before half, they had that crazy pass that went through one guy's hand and wound up being a touchdown. And that was a 7-point touchdown, or not a touchdown, but a 7-point swing right there. Georgia is still a great team in my eyes, and that's a solid win. Remember, that is a rival game. We all know this. Rival games, even if the other team isn't that good, it's going to be close more times than not. Ole Miss, this one kind of shocked me. I thought it was going to be a little closer. They whoop up on South Kakalaki 27-3. I know everybody wrote off Ole Miss after that Kentucky game, but that's a team to keep your eyes on. And it goes back to this. Kentucky ain't bad. They played Georgia close, too. They only lost to Georgia by 1. Clemson beat the absolute crap out of Florida State, and I couldn't even celebrate Florida State losing this week because I was too devastated after the Alabama loss. Let's get into the night games, and these were really interesting. We'll start off with old Tennessee, Rocky Top, 4th-ranked team in the nation versus Arkansas. Arkansas walks out there with a 19-14 win, and it's a similar situation to Vandy and Alabama. The better team won. Arkansas was the better team, had more first downs, total yards, and they just looked better. Tennessee was so discombobulated on offense. They ran the ball fine, but when it came to passing, they couldn't do too much. Arkansas got a bunch of timely stops, and I was shocked. They came back and won this game, down 14-13 with their backup quarterback. I really thought when Tennessee punted the ball to him, it was over, because that backup quarterback looked like a deer in headlights. But give credit to him, he led Arkansas down the field, and they had the game-winning rushing touchdown. What do you think about Tennessee allowing them to score, though? I thought that was a interesting strategy. I don't think there's a right or wrong answer because if you don't allow them to score, then they just run the clock out and attempt a game-winning 30-yard field goal. However, it is college, and we've seen college kickers miss those before. Those aren't gimmies. But Tennessee allows a touchdown. Tennessee has the ball with a chance to win it. Touchdown wins. And that clock management at the end was head-scratching, to say the least. It was poorly managed. But with all that being said, Tennessee had the ball down there around the, 20-yard line, and Nico, I've been ranting and raving about you for the past couple of years. I love Nico Iamaleava, but dude, what was that last play? The lack of awareness blows my mind. There was only 6 seconds, and you know if you scramble even for a second, okay, this is the last play, and you still didn't throw the ball up, at least give your guys a chance. By just walking out of bounds, that's essentially what it did, there's no chance to win the game. And heck, what was the point of even going out of bounds? There's no time on the clock. At least try to scamper, lateral the ball back. God, if I was a Tennessee fan, that would have drove me crazy. Just throw the ball up, man. Just throw it up. That's all I got to say about that. Like I said, you probably don't complete the pass. Your odds aren't too high, but just give your guys a chance. That's all you're asking for. Tennessee pulls to Tennessee, and I know everybody's immediate reaction is going to be to write them off, similar to what we did with Ole Miss, similar to what we did with Alabama, but these are still good teams in my opinion. It's a classic situation of you got these guys feeling good about themselves. They're making all this NIL money, and the other team like Arkansas and Vanderbilt, it was their Super Bowl. They gave them their best shot, and they won. Big win for Sam Pittman in Arkansas. They needed that. What about this game, go? There's not too much to say. I can sum this up in a couple sentences. Michigan lost because of their quarterback situation. That's all it is. Michigan is a good ball team. Their problem is they don't got a quarterback. And until you get a quarterback, this will be a team that goes 8-4, 9-3 every single season. And you could give credit to Washington. I'm not trying to discredit them, but this is more of a Michigan quarterback problem. What are they going to do moving forward? Here's the problem. Don't know. They don't even have a reliable option back there. I feel bad for Michigan because you are quite literally one player away from being one of the best teams in the nation. Defense is good, but when you got quarterbacks turning the ball over left and right, eventually they're going to break. I don't even know how to feel about this. Minnesota upset USC. I mean this in the most respectful way possible. Minnesota sucks. But, and I have a big but, same thing with Arkansas and Vandy. This is Minnesota's Super Bowl. When you get teams already at the halfway point of the season, they got 2 or 3 losses, they know they're not making the playoff. So when they get a top 15, top 10, or even top 5 team, they're giving them their best shot. This is their game. On the flip side, you get USC walking in there thinking it's going to be an easy game, but just like Lee Corso says, nah, not so fast, my friend. And one play in this game I couldn't believe is it 17-17, late in the fourth quarter, about a minute to go. It was 4th and inches on the goal line. And Minnesota, with the game tied, decided to go for it. Not saying it's crazy, but that is risky because if you don't get it, you're for sure going to overtime unless you get a safety. If you kick a field goal, it's guaranteed and you go up 20-17. What would y'all done there? And obviously, coach was like a genius because the play called worked. They got a touchdown on the quarterback sneak. And it turned out to be the right play call because Tennessee marched down the field. Not Tennessee, my apologies. USC marched down the field and they got in field goal range. But remember, Minnesota scored a touchdown and USC needed a touchdown to tie it. Congrats to Minnesota. USC, well, it's looking like another 8-4, 9-3 season, unfortunately. Oh, yeah, I forgot to talk about this game. This was on Friday night. Syracuse and UNLV. Man. What a game that was. I was rooting for UNLV just because of the whole Matthew Sluka situation. I can't believe that final play of the game where that linebacker for UNLV, I forgot his name, he's one of their best players, he hit the running back in the backfield and he just powered through him. That was a heck of a game, but last but not least, say the best for last, Miami has a 25-point comeback in the second half against Cal. You can argue the targeting call. I thought it was targeting, but it's still California's fault they lost this game. I still can't comprehend how Miami came back. California was clicking on all cylinders. They had Cam Ward on lockdown. The offense was moving and grooving, and it's like it was a different team out there. Offense couldn't get a first down. Defense couldn't stop Cam Ward to save their life. And I understand Cam Ward finally being able to pick apart the defense, but California's offense getting shut down really shocked me because Miami's defense, I was about to say they're not good, but it's to the point where I want to say they're pretty bad. That's 2 straight wins that people feel like Miami got gifted by the refs, and here's all I'm going to say about this. You keep playing with fire, eventually you're going to get burnt. But hey, who cares? A win is a win. If I was a Miami fan, I'd be feeling like I'm on cloud 9. Congratulations to Miami, and yeah, I think that's all the games I wanted to talk about and cover. Heck of a weekend, man. Heck of a weekend. There's so many great games, and this is why I love the sport of college football, and I believe there's not a shadow of a doubt in my mind that college football is the greatest sport in the world. It's so amazing. You don't get this anywhere else. It's just the unpredictability factor. The NFL is great. It's very professional, and I like watching it from that standpoint. It's good football being played with some of the best athletes in the world out there. But some of the things you get in college football, or a lot of the things you get in college football, you just don't see in the NFL because they are the best of the best. In college football, you see some of the wildest, and I mean some of the wildest crap you're ever going to see. Many more things I could say. I want to hurry up and get this video edited and uploaded. I'm curious. Let me know your thoughts down below. But